All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Heat Vision podcast. Right now, I got myself, Hector, and I got Mario.
What up?
It's just us. It's just us two, man. We don't have Javi. We don't got...
I mean, Dilly could be here because he did play this game, but he in Mexico right now.
He in the slums. He at war. He's at war.
He's over. He's
war.
riding bulls over there. He's riding bulls, playing what's that shit called when you have like the red flag, not red flag, but like a red sheet thing, and I forget what it's called. He's a conquistador or whatever. I think that's how you say it.
A matador.
A matador. There you go. That he's doing that shit.
He's a matador, bro.
But yeah.
That man till he got off the plane, they confused him with a loose cow, so they shot him 3 times with a drink.
No. He said that shit ain't enough for me, so he stood back up and he said. He said, "Yeah, my bitches now." But anyway, man.
So listen, guys. So the game. So Mario mentioned the game, man. This is gonna be our first ever game. Our first ever game review. All right, and it's a game that's pretty, I guess, old.
No, it's fairly old. It's not. Is it a year old? No, it's not.
I don't know. We're late on that, and I actually want to point that out is that we're gonna be reviewing games that are pretty old. And we're also going to do new ones, so just bear with us. But this is our first ever game review. And just like always, there will be spoilers. So spoilers ahead. Every single time you tune into this podcast, expect spoilers because we like to go in depth, right? We like to, do all that. But yeah, you guys could find us everywhere, man. YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple. And follow our socials at Heat Vision Podcast.
Yeah, I looked it up. The game came out October 12th, 2021, so it's almost a year.
Yeah, so that's a fair warning. So yeah, the game that we're reviewing is Back for Blood.
Mm-hmm.
The next installment. Well, not really, right? Of Left 4 Dead. Whatever.
No, it's because you know how I told you how like they came out with DLC way too fucking late. So it came out in 2021. The expansion, it's called Back 4 Blood Expansion 1 Tunnels of Terror. It came out April 12th, 2022.
Damn.
No, either way, we'll get to that later.
We haven't even... Okay, well, we're not going to review that because we haven't...
Yeah, I know,
that.
but I'm saying like
we're just
the fact that they released something that late.
We're just going to do the base game. And so before we start off, right, it's the same, I guess, a few people, same people who made... the Left 4 Dead series, yeah. Left 4 Dead 2, which those 2 games, man.
Those games were fun.
Those were fire, man.
That game made me want to get an Xbox.
And listen, I'm not being biased, right? Because sometimes people could be biased, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being biased. I have good points that I wrote down because I did some research for this. Because
Hector was hella studious.
No, yeah, I had to because I'm like, damn, it's been a minute since we did.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say we're doing this review is because it's for sure something that you and I we both played. We played it together.
Mm-hmm.
And we beat it the first day or 2 days?
It took us 2 days, 2 or 3 days. It wasn't a long game.
And we played it with Thili.
Yeah,
but Thili's out there in cages in Mexico.
Can you say?
He's taking baths with just the bowl.
Yeah, I've done that before, with a bucket. By the way, when I was over there, the water didn't work, so we had to just fill up a big ass fucking bucket and just.
Tilly, one time at night, Tilly snuck out to go to the outhouse, take a shit, and they thought he was a chupacabra, so they shot his ass. Anyways. Tilly, you're listening to this, bro.
We're sorry.
No, but yeah, so yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing, man. We're gonna review some older games, some newer ones. Obviously, we have to make sure that we all played it, so we're gonna do that. And so I needed to do some research about this game because I'm like, dang, I do remember the gameplay. I do remember the things that I didn't like, but the story, bro, I had no idea what the fuck was going on in the story.
That is true. The story, the campaign in this game it's very forgettable.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I needed to do research for it, and I have it here in my notes. I did some bullet points. So so we're gonna get through the story real quick. Basically what it's about is that 1.4 million years before Back 4 Blood happened, there was this crater. There's this like comet type shit that hit Earth,
mm-hmm.
right? And so this crater right, had like this like these big ass like worms type shit, right? And so scientists are like studying it and whatnot, studying the crater. They find these worms and stuff, and they're doing some studies on it. And typical zombie fucking movies, they put them like in test tubes. They escape and they lunge at them. So that's what happened, right? Is they're testing them. These worms, whatever, escaped. They lunged at the scientists and they infect them, just like what you always see this in zombie movies and video games, like whatever, right? So that's basically what happened, and that's what caused this infection. So this shit's out from outer space, bro, and from these weird worms or whatever the fuck. Which I don't remember hearing that about in the story.
Yeah, like I said, bro, it's been months, but I don't remember that either.
Like, I'm gonna be honest.
Like, maybe they probably did mention it, maybe. But
yeah. So after that, we get these, new characters, right? We get Mom, which is his mom. We get Holly, which is that one girl. We get no, I think it's the girl with the trucker's hat or some shit. Or like, I don't know. And then we get Evangelo, the guy with the I think he looks like Dominican.
I think
he has like an afro type shit.
Yeah, I remember him.
And then we get the other dude, the other like ex. He says it's a ex-army ranger.
Yeah, I remember him too.
So it's one of those characters, and that's, I don't know, man. Like, well, I guess let's focus on the story real quick, right? And then we'll talk about the gameplay and the stuff that we didn't like. So you have to choose one of these characters. It's a typical, Left 4 Dead type situation. The 4 characters that you choose, we spawn at a fort, right? It's called Fort Hope, and it's this community, just like a zombie community. And so the mission is that the leader there, his name I think is General Phillips. He sends us to get more supplies for the fucking for the community. So we go out, we get supplies. We have to meet someone at a bar. Do you remember that bar scene? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when it like there was rock and roll music playing, and then it was like, I think it was that scene. And so we have to talk with this other guy. I think his name is like Ren. Let me see. I think I had it. Yeah, Renfrick at a bar to, asking for supplies and whatnot. And then Renfrick says, if you want more supplies, I need to work more with General Phillips again, or whatever, the leader from the Fort Hope or whatnot. And so, we get that mission where we defend the bar and shit, and how there's so much ridden. That's what they call it, ridden. That, we get a call from General Phillips saying, yo, there's so much, like, where are these things coming from? Well, now we're shutting down, like, exit from the city. So, like, we're pretty much left for die, or we got to evacuate, right? And so that's what happens. We eventually, we escape by blowing up that bridge. Do you remember that mission?
Oh, isn't it?
Do you remember we had to like blow up a bridge?
I remember the boat. Wasn't the boat?
Was it that?
I think it was the boat. You had to blow up a boat. Remember?
I read that was a bridge.
Either you or dude didn't make it back. One of you two didn't make it back.
Something like that. So we escape. We end up escaping, right? And then we do that. We finally get back to the fort, to our community, and it's it's overrun. We save the day and whatnot. And then we are sent. And then once we get there, we're like, yo, we got to find the source of this. Like, we got to find out where the source of these ridden is coming from, whatnot. So we get sent to this mine. Do you remember that mine?
Yeah, I
mission?
remember that. Mm-hmm.
So we get sent there because apparently that's where like the biggest swarms are. That's where it's coming from. We gotta investigate and whatnot. And so once we get there, to find out everything, we encounter that. Is it the worm?
Which one? What do you mean?
Was there a worm? Like a big ass worm?
The mine?
What am I thinking of?
No, are you talking about for that mission, like the final boss for the final act?
No. So like right here, I think we end up wiping them out or some shit, and then we end up coming back to our community, and then that's when we get this big ass monster. It's called Abomination.
I think I remember that guy.
So that's pretty much it. The story is, trying to get supplies. Oh no, we're overrun. We got to escape. You escape. Okay, we got to find out where these things are coming from. Okay, we find out where they're coming from. We wipe it out. We come back to the community. Now we have this huge ass, big ass monster type shit. Mm-hmm. Right? And so, it's a whole, I think there's like, that takes up like 2 missions or 3. hunting down that big ass monster, and like and then it ends in a good note. We end up defeating it, remember? And then that's it. We end up defeating it, and then they make a couple little jokes, and they're just walking off into the sunset, and that's it. That's Back for Blood. And I know I'm probably miss more details and I miss whatever, but I'm gonna be real. If it couldn't hook me in the first time, then it wasn't a great story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just a generic like story. I didn't feel like involved.
It was very generic. And you got to remember that as you played the game, you unlocked more people.
More people.
Yeah, remember? You get like you get the standard 4.
Uh-huh.
And then what's it called? You unlock more. 'Cause remember you got like that doctor chick later on?
Oh, okay,
see, there was way more, but you had to here's and that's what I'm saying. The game got really boring because in order to unlock these new people, you had to replay the same mission over and over and over again. And the only and they tried tackling that issue of not getting boring by, you remember those modifiers you would have? Remember you would pick this card.
Oh yeah,
and it'll give you this modifier for that mission for this time. So so the same run's not different. It's the same thing. It's just you have different modifiers basically. And I don't know, even that it gets boring. And the way and how much currency, the game currency, couldn't you buy currency? I would be your actual money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. If did that.
And so yeah, like I said, I did my research on it, and I do have some points that I didn't like. But before we get into that, I do want to. I say we should we talk about the things I don't like first, and then we talk about the stuff that we did like, or should we do it?
Say what we did like
first.
Yeah, and then we'll get into the.
So okay, what we did like from it is that it's definitely fun when you play with friends.
Yeah.
The first time we're killing these hordes and stuff. I feel like the gameplay carried overall. The gameplay carried the story, the boring characters, right? And a few level designs, and I feel like that was because there were cool moments. We're like, yo, what the fuck is that? Like some crazy monsters pop out, or a bunch of hordes come out and stuff. And I guess another thing that I really liked is I remember in the beta, when I played the beta. Did you play the beta?
Yeah.
Did we play together?
Yeah, we all played it together. Yeah.
It was pretty easy. I don't know if you remember. It was pretty easy, and now they upped it up. Don't you remember when we played it normal and we were still dying?
Yeah, we're getting fucked
up. Dude, it was pretty fucking hard. We didn't get to play the other difficulties, but I'm assuming it's going to be just as hard. So it was tough, and we're playing on normal, which I actually like. I've seen other reviews and other people saying that they hated it. Like, oh my God, it's so hard. Like, well, you're fucking ass. You know what I mean? You're
bad, again.
It's all about, I like that. Me personally, I like that there's a skill gap, and I like that it's challenging. Even in normal, it was pretty tough, but I enjoyed it because, if you're really, because to be honest, if you have a 4 players, friends, for us, it was just us 3.
It was 3, yeah.
If you have a 4-man team and you actually, all of you guys were good as fuck and knew everything, it would probably be more fun because yes, it'd be challenging, but you guys could get through it. You know what I mean? So I've seen other reviews are like, oh, I'm dying so quickly, or my team sucks. I'm like, yeah, well, you kind of suck. I'm not gonna lie, y'all just fucking ass. So I really did like that. There were some of the missions were pretty cool, I guess, and I think that was, I don't know, man. I think that's all I really enjoyed, Mario, was the gameplay.
Gameplay, yes. I like the gameplay. Definitely carried it for me. But I also did like how the world they made. I don't think it was incredible or amazing, but I also I thought it was good, which is why I'm so disappointed that everything else was so stale and so boring. Yeah. So I'm just damn, there's potential here. Yeah. Y'all just y'all dropping the ball. It's plain simple. Y'all
and the typical oh, we gotta defend. I thought they were cool. That bar scene remember when we're inside that bar, or inside the house? Or the
one mission where you mentioned earlier where you're on the bridge and on the bridge and there's a boat and you had to plant the C4 and I'm there with the machine gun and I'm just mowing them down and you guys are in the boat and I'm just watching you. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers got 30 seconds to get back. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, the zombies chasing us. So that mission was cool. I like the bar place where we're defending it inside. The zombies are breaking in the house, and the rock and roll music is playing. Those type of things are good, But the thing that I think throws it off is just the story. We don't care about the story, and I'm gonna be honest. we don't really care about the characters that we're playing as. There's
it's because like
there's no memorable moments.
I don't know if you noticed, but I remember this from review and from review I saw. I'm like, holy shit, that's true. I didn't notice it the first time, but from the beginning of the game, all the cutscenes, it was like a decently length cutscene, right? And that's obviously the best part of the story, where like I think it's the most impactful. But that's not even saying that. It's not saying much. But as you go throughout the game, the cutscenes get shorter and shorter.
Oh yeah.
And shorter to the point where like you don't even give a fuck about the story.
Oh yeah, like you'll finish an act, like not a mission, an act.
Oh yeah, and there's no cutscene.
And like you'll finish an act, and there'll be like a super short cutscene. Like okay, cool. They just get in the van
and they drive off, and that's
like,
the next thing. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
Can we not just get something else? Can we get more?
It's kind of like they just. It's like they cared about the story in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then, like halfway, they're like, "Yeah, fuck the story. Yeah, let's not even give them a cutscene here.
Yeah,
let's just go." I'm just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, the story has to be somewhat good to keep us engaged, at least.
And yeah, it wasn't, man. I had to look up the fucking story because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And so let me get through. So I said, let's see. So I said it's worth playing on. It's worth playing if you have it on Game Pass.
Yeah, don't spend money on this game.
I don't think it's worth it $60. Like at the time.
Hell no, it's not worth it. Thank God I had Game Pass.
Yeah, we got the Game Pass, so it's definitely worth playing and checking it out if you have Game Pass. One thing though that they do get right from other Left 4 Dead games is that it's better graphics.
Obviously,
graphics are better. There's more customization.
That's true.
With your guns.
But it's like, again, do you want to replay the same thing over and over and over again to get those? Because there is a lot.
Yeah.
But unless you pay, I'm pretty sure there was a store where you can pay actual money to unlock it quicker.
I think so.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that. But even if so, if let's say that store is not there, the grind to get that shit is not worth it. Like if you grind that, the only way you get a substantial amount of like currency is that if you do the hardest shit. Yeah. And the hardest shit, well, it's fucking actually hard. Like they make it hard on you. And I'm just like, bro, like if you're by yourself, you're screwed. Maybe if you have a 2 people, 3 people, or a full squad, maybe it's easier. But like if you're a solo player, that's fucking impossible. I feel like.
Yeah. I agree with that. But going back to the customization, it was cool seeing the customization that you could do, but they didn't do a good job. One example is the attachments on the guns.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was probably the most stupidest thing that they've done in this fucking game.
That shit was annoying. Listen, I remember.
The thing that they got right is the amount of guns that they had in the game and the amount of attachments. That was fucking cool. They upped the ante, especially from Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. But the problem is you are not allowed to switch your attachments. So like whatever attachments you put on your gun, that's it. Those were your attachments until you find something else. And even let's say you find a better gun, you can't transfer your attachments or you can't take shit off. Like what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Remember that? That's all we talked about?
Yeah, we're like, bro, like why can't I like this barrel on, but I want it on this gun, but
what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that's where they missed the ball.
Stupid. That's just like, why can't you do that?
I don't know why they did that.
That was annoying.
And so that's one thing that we really we didn't like. Like I said, we mentioned generic story, boring characters, and speaking of characters, one like a perfect example when I say that, because what do you mean boring characters? Think about from Left 4 Dead 2. Think about Ellis. Remember that the hillbilly dude, and then Coach. There were just more cutscenes and memorable moments and like one-liners and stuff. Like there'll be a scene where in Left 4 Dead 2, you're just walking down the street, whatever, and you just hear Ellis just ranting about random shit, and you're like, "Shut up!" Or like there's funny moments. Yeah. There's more. It's you build more of a connection, and I kind of wish we had that with these characters. These characters, I don't know. I never really. They're just boring.
It's like the story became second thought, bro. That's why.
And so and just like you mentioned, some of the cutscenes were just boring. Like I mentioned, we finished an act and they just get in the van, drive off.
That's it. That's all you get. Like, bro, what the hell? And it's like the final before you move on to the next chapter or whatever the fuck it is. Like it's like this is the final boss. You get no cutscene to like recap anything. You just drive off and that's it. We're like, what the fuck?
So and then another thing that I guess I'm gonna be nitpicky comparing it to the older games is that This game is more bright and more arcadey. And
Yeah,
let me
you can
explain.
say that.
And let me explain. So the ridden, they're not zombies, they're infected or whatever. I guess they're infected, but you know, they have glowing eyes, like some fucking Call of Duty zombies type shit. The fucking bosses have health bars on them. It's more bright, more bluish hue. And if you think about it, compared to Left 4 Dead 1 and 2,
Much more darker.
you're in Left 4 Dead 1, the train, when you're in the train station, it's so dark and the only light you have is your flashlight from your gun. The eyes from the zombies aren't glowing. They look more dark and bloodied up, right? Whenever the tank would show up, like the specialist, and that's another thing I'm going to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Is that they don't have any health bars. So I feel like with these, yes, they copy some specialists and whatnot, but another thing that I didn't like is that each specialist, that's one thing that they did good though. There was definitely more specialists, more special zombies, like the hag. Remember that shit was OP as fuck. You remember it was
It's the one that calls everyone? Like
no. The hag was was this big motherfucker that like takes you and puts you in like in his belly type shit or like eats you.
Oh, okay.
Remember what happened to Teely?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh well, it's a new infected, and so my thing with the infected is that in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, each special infected had like a theme.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like you'd hear the boomer like bro, like, and you'll hear the music and everybody, and even when it was attacking you, there'd be a eerie theme. They did not do that with these infected, and I'm like, wow, I'm just nitpicking here. But and same with the health bars. I don't like the health bars with the big monsters or whatever, because like it kind of ruins the fear. Because like when the tank, remember when the tank would pull up,
you wouldn't know. You're like,
you wouldn't know. You'd just be shooting it, running away. It's like, yo, what is it gonna die? And the suspense is never there. But when you add a health bar, it's like, oh, okay, guys, it's almost dead. Like, and you just relax. It's like, oh, it's almost dead. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't like that they did that, and I don't like that they got rid of the themes and everything. Special. Let's see. I think I'm mentioning everything so far. Oh yeah, so let's get into a new interesting thing that this game added, the card system.
Yeah.
So there's this card system that they had where it's kind of like perks, abilities that you could choose.
It's kind of like how they were trying to make they weren't trying to make Left 4 Dead. It's kind of like their own take on Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. And this is which I thought it was a cool idea.
Yeah, me too.
But here's the issue. They did it poorly. Because another thing, including the cards, right? They're like perks, you know, like 5% like speed boost of stamina or 5% like better accuracy.
Or more health.
You know, so you could build like an all melee build. You could build all stamina build. You could build like, it's a pretty cool idea. And so with that, they introduced corruption cards for the zombies. So every time when you play a mission, randomly, it'll be completely random. There'll be corruption cards, meaning the zombies and the ridden and the special zombies, they get perks. So before the mission starts, it says, here's the corruption cards. It'll say special infected get 10% more health, or the zombies are 10% faster, or like whatever the fuck, right? And you're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But here's the issue. And this was the perfect way to use the system, which they didn't do. Is that once you pick your deck and your cards, you're stuck with those cards for the rest of the act. Right? And so I feel like it would have been cool is that whenever a mission would start and you would see a corruption card, based on that, you could look at your cards and make a build for that to counter that mission. And that would have been a smart way to use that card system. But they didn't. It's like, okay, these guys have the corruption cards. Like, these are their perks, but I can't change or I can't pick my cards that I want because I'm stuck with these.
Oh, so we would pick cards first, and then the corruption cards would show up?
Yeah.
Oh, then, yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you remember.
And I remember the cards.
We had moments. I don't know if you remember this. We had moments, bro, where you, me, and Thiele, we'd be like, bro, what's the point of these fucking cards? Or like we're getting the same cards over and over. Do you remember?
Yeah, we would get them over and over again.
And it just...
Once you get deep into the game, it's basically the same cards over
yeah,
and over.
And it was just stupid as fuck. And not only that, when, let's say you have a gun, right? And you were careful with your attachments, right? We start learning, okay, we can't take off the attachments, so let's pick the ones that we know we like, right? Another thing that I didn't like is that when you finish the act, right? The next act, you lose it.
Yeah.
It takes everything away from you. It was like, okay. And so that's one other thing about the card system that I didn't like. I did like the idea. I just think that it was poorly designed. And not only that, you can't change the difficulty. So like if you like, so let's say you're playing through like Act 2, whatever. You're like, you know what? I want to try Nightmare for the next mission or whatever the fuck, right? You can't change difficulty. You have to start over from the very beginning. Which like I said, I didn't notice that, but I did some research and that's fucking dumb as hell. We already I already mentioned you can't change the attachments. We lose all of our guns and upgrades and so playing honestly, then I said, this is another thing, another major point. Turtle Rock. So there's actual videos and stuff of them confirming, you get to play as the Ridden, which it's true, but they said there will be a versus campaign. Do you remember Left 4 Dead 2 where you could play as the zombies and the special infected, and it'd be a versus campaign, meaning it'd be the same missions that you played before, but as a zombie, your goal is to stop them from beating the mission, and then their goal is to kill you and like beat the mission. So that they promised that in this game.
And
it's not here. The only way you could play as a zombie is through like a stupid arcade mode where like it's just a survival. Like
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I remember.
Which I don't know. Which I didn't like that shit. And also I believe there's no split screen either. Which is another thing to mention. There's no split screen. I feel like playing alone as well. I did some research because like it could have changed, right, from the way it is now. But back then,
release date.
I heard I saw reviews and I heard many people talking about how playing alone there's no benefits in playing alone because the AI is really stupid. Your teammates is like really stupid, doesn't help you out.
Or if you try to play multiplayer, what if you get bad teammates?
No, exactly right. There's no. Speaking of that, there's no kick option either. There's no kick option. So if someone's trying to being a dipshit, you can't even kick them. Vote to kick. So that's another thing. Also, you get no rewards when you play alone. You get no currency. You get no bonuses, bro.
Yeah,
you only get that if you play together with friends.
That's dumb.
And so yeah, these are the issues, man, with this game.
And the fact that after the game came out, it took, I don't know, what was it? Probably what's that? It came out October. What did it say? April or some shit for the first DLC to come out. Yeah, it came out in April.
Yeah.
The game released in October and it came April 12th. I'm like that shit you cannot take by the time like when they announced that, no one gave a fuck. Like, bro, like no one cares about your game. Like you might as well just start developing a new game. And for a game like that, DLC needs to come out quick.
Yeah, because the main story is it's repetitive and it's just generic. You know what I mean? I feel like if they added the versus campaign, that shit would have been cool. Because that was fun. I played that a lot when I was in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah, they couldn't promise that at launch, but maybe say, maybe a month after launch.
Yeah, but like,
versus comes, like, and then after that, maybe another month. That's when the new expansion comes.
I don't understand why developers do that. Why not just delay that shit and just release everything together? Obviously, with the DLC with new maps and whatnot, I get it. But if you're talking about game modes and stuff, like, why not just include that in the final product?
I don't know, bro. There's probably some reason. Shit, maybe there's a reason for it, but I'm just like, bro, it's like this shit came on release for games back then with older hardware, older tech, older everything.
Yep.
Why the fuck can't you do it now with better everything, better tech, better hardware? You know what I mean? Like you should be able to do it. I don't know. Maybe it could be a thing where like maybe the developers want to release it on time, but the people in the suits are like, no, we need this game to come out this year at this day, and they're forced to leave shit out and they don't have time. That could be the issue, but if not, then it's a missed opportunity.
Well, yeah, when this game was announced, bro, I was hyped.
Me too. I was hyped too because it was the first game. Like, my god, this is literally Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, because they always rumored Left 4 Dead 3, right? I would see like fan art and shit with the hand with the three shit. It was like purple or whatnot. And I would get so hyped. I'm like, dude, I wanted Left 4 Dead 3. I loved the first two so much.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I need a Left 4 Dead 3, and I've always wanted it growing up. And then we finally get introduced. We're back, type shit. Back for blood, type. Fits with it. I was so hyped, but playing it, it's not the same. They did add things that is way better than the first couple games, but they also did worse than what the first games had. You know, and like I said, it doesn't feel as horror. Like I said, it feels more arcadey.
Yeah, it definitely
I
does.
want it to be a little bit more horror and more dark, like the first two. Better characters, you know, that we actually care about. You know, because in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, when you're with your friends, I know I did this with my cousins. We'd fight over which character we wanted to play as, right? That's because these characters had a personality. They actually were fucking cool. With these characters, we're like, remember, as we were picking our characters, we're like, yo, who do you want? You want to be this person? Like, no, I don't really care. Okay, I'll be this person, I guess. He's like, oh, okay, bet. Dealey was like, I bet. Okay, I guess I'll be mom. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we didn't really, like, care. Even after playing a couple missions, we didn't really grow attached with the characters that we were playing as.
And just more like, let me try someone new now.
Yes, exactly. Listen, that's my point. That's exactly, okay, let's switch, right? Let's switch characters. Rather than in Left 4 Dead, you build an attachment with the person you're playing as. Like, no, I want to be this person as we, you know, keep going and whatnot. And yeah, man, it really sucks, man, because I was really hyped about this game, and it's definitely worth playing, checking it out if you have the Game Pass. But I don't recommend paying $60 or even if it's $40. You know what I mean? It's just if you're gonna play these type of games,
make sure you have people to play with.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Don't play this shit by yourself. And not only that, if you want to play this stuff, man, go play Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah. You know what I mean? You can still play them on PC and shit. Or if you have the Xbox 360 or whatever the fuck, y'all can still play that because the only thing that's going for them with this is the better graphics, in my opinion, and then the more guns and more attachments. But like I said, you can't change the attachments. What is that, bro?
That's really annoying.
That's so fucking stupid. Like, who was thinking because and it was so weird because I thought you could, right? I was hyped. I'm like, yo, this is fucking cool. I put on this on my fucking assault rifle. I put like this 3x scope on it just to like snipe them and shit. I'm like, okay, bet this is cool. Now let me pick up my red dot, and I couldn't. I was like, what the fuck? That was annoying, man. I hated that. But yeah, I think that's everything, man. It's a pretty short episode, but yeah, Mario, do you wanna say your final thoughts and your rating?
I mean, overall, this game, it's hard because like I think Bethesda is making another game like this. I forgot what it's called.
Really?
They're making a game like this, but there's not as much hype around it because Back 4 Blood would let down a lot of people, and so people aren't as hyped for that new game that's coming out. But I think it's coming out on Game Pass too.
But so if they go back to their roots, and what if they actually call this one Left 4 Dead 3, and they actually do it well, bro?
Yeah, but they had to do it justice.
They gotta do it, man.
But yeah,
like imagine Left 4 Dead 2, bro, with the graphics today.
That would be cool.
Fuck, man.
That would
be. My favorite mission from Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, there's a bunch that I like, but the one that stood out to me the most and freaked me out as a kid was the circus.
The circus one, I remember that.
Do you remember that? Those fucking zombies would be clowns and shit.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, do you remember? And then the final scene where you're at the concert at the stage.
Yeah, and you're playing them. You literally have a concert.
Yeah, you're playing the music. The fucking fireworks going up, bro. That was so sick. I love that.
I'm pretty sure you could have guitar as a melee weapon.
No, yeah, you could. Yeah. That mission freaked me out though as a kid because like
my favorite times when I was playing those games were the witches.
Oh yeah,
because whenever you came on, everyone's like, "Quiet, bro, quiet."
Yeah,
shut
right.
the fuck up,
dude. That's another thing. They would whisper as well. I don't know why they didn't add that in this game. The witch.
Remember I think they did because remember you had to kill it was like a screamer or some shit like that, and they would just scream and like, and more zombies would come and they would keep coming until you killed it.
Yeah,
but there wasn't that fear as like, yo, shut the fuck up. Like there was like a fear like I'm scared of this bitch.
It was so definitely. And it was so fun because I'll be playing with my cousin and I'd be like, yo, we'd be like sneaking past, right? And then I'll be far away, I'll shoot the bitch, and so it chases my cousin. So we'd be fucking around. But no, right, speaking of, and I guess so the circus mission freaked me out, and another one, I know which one. It was called Heavy Rain. Do you remember the mission Left 4 Dead 2 where...
Was it a DLC one or was
no.
It
was the main story. It was remember when it was raining a lot?
Oh, are you in the woods?
Yeah. No, you're like in a cornfield type shit.
I think I'm sorry.
And it's foggy. So it's like foggy, raining so much. It's like a swamp type shit. Do you remember that mission?
I'm trying to remember.
Bro, that mission freaked me out, man.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my point. This game didn't freak me out. And
no,
before you say, but you were a kid back then, blah blah blah. Okay, I get it, but still, Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, it was more fearful. Like, it was more dark. The only light you had was from the flashlight from Left 4 Dead 1, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know if there's a zombie yet in a corner until you flash the light at it. Mm-hmm. With this one, it's more bright and it's not really as freaky. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. But anyways, I cut you off hard. So
you're good. My bad. But no, this game it had the same issues as other entries in this genre as before. Like, remember World War Z, or I forgot what the fuck, that third person zombie game?
Oh yeah.
Low key, I like that game. I like how they did their hordes way better.
No, yeah.
That shit was. But it's the same thing where like we
could review that one.
We could, yeah. But same thing. It's the same problems with this game as in that game too. Yeah. They take forever to fucking release shit, and the shit just gets so repetitive, so fucking quick. The replayability is there, but it's bad replayability. Like, it's not done good. Where it's like you just get bored. And you're like, why the fuck am I playing? It's not worth it.
Like, by the time they release new DLC, like,
no one gives a shit anymore.
Like, you're done.
No one cares. Like, we finished the main story for that game. They World War Z and never came back to it. We finished this game, the main story. We never came back to it. We're just like, nah, bro. It's one playthrough. That's it. We're not giving this more of our time. Like, it's not good. Yeah. But no, it's just like I said. You can if you do this game right, it can become something legendary like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 were. Because there's something about those games that people still cling on to and say, no,
and you can still play over and over.
You can play, people
still replay
and it's the same thing over and over. But like, there's something about it that makes you want to play it over and over again that these two games don't have. But it's just disappointing. And I don't want to say it, but the one Bethesda's making, I forgot the name of the game. Mm-hmm. But they're making a game similarly like that, where like each guy, each operator, or I keep calling it operator character, has their own gadget. I think you remember.
Is it like vampires or some shit?
It's some shit like that, where they have their own gadgets and shit, and you got to use smartly to get past.
But it's vampires though.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you remember. We can look it up after this.
I know. Yeah.
But I feel that it's gonna be the same thing, where it's gonna be just like Back 4 Blood. It's gonna be just like World War Z, where it's gonna be fun when you play with your friends for the first time, but after you beat everything, it's gonna get repetitive again. It's gonna get boring again. Yeah. The way you keep people's attention is like, as soon as you release the game, a month or two max, you have to release something new, a new level, a new character, a new zombie.
For those type of games,
it's about how fast you can update the game if you want to see success.
It's kind of like what's Call of Duty's problem right now. Like, Call of Duty is if you're just looking at Call of Duty, not Warzone. Mm-hmm. Call of Duty is like just stale as fuck.
Mm-hmm. And I'm happy though, because now when the new Modern Warfare comes out, that's going to be the next COD for 2 years, which low-key I kind of like.
No, that's crazy, because they should have been doing that.
Yeah.
Because every new COD every year, it's just like burns you the fuck out. Like, it'll burn you out of a COD, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and you wouldn't be really more hyped. I mean, but then again, that's another topic. Yeah. But okay, so what would be your rating for this, bro?
For this one, for Back 4 Blood, it's overall disappointing. There are a few good things, but there are a lot more bad things. For me, I got to give this a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10. Just because, like I said, there's a lot of missed opportunities where they could have done so many good things. And the fact that your first DLC is fucking 5 months later after fucking release date, it's just like, bro, like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, this shit, no one gives a fuck about your game no more. No one, even if it's free. I'm pretty sure it's free, by the way. The DLC.
Is it?
I think it's free.
So, yeah,
right?
Probably.
Even and if it costs money, motherfucker, only people who fucking love this game are gonna buy that. People like us, we're not gonna buy it. That's fucking guaranteed. It's just like, it took too long to update the game. The levels are so repetitive. They get so repetitive so fucking easy, because we did replay a couple levels because we wanted to unlock shit, but we quickly realized, like, bro, this is fucking pointless. Like these, like, the camos they're cool, but it's not worth our time. And I don't know, it's just overall, it's a missed opportunity. And it's just disappointing. The word for this game is just, it fell flat, and it's disappointing.
So sick.
Because you want another Left 4 Dead. Like, I want that other game that's gonna hit like that,
man.
but no.
Fuck.
It missed. The one Bethesda game is probably gonna miss too, in my opinion. But
we gotta check it out.
Yeah.
But okay, so 6 out of 10. My rating, man, it's gonna be a little bit lower, man.
For real? Dang.
It's gonna be 5.
5?
I'm gonna give it a 5, man. It's an average game. It's an okay game. That's it. It's not super terrible because we did enjoy some parts and stuff.
Yeah, some parts were enjoyable.
And sometimes it was fun, but it's not. I don't think it's an above average game. I think it was just an average, okay, game. And yeah, I think that's our rating, man.
Just you do better. Do better.
So yeah, with that being said, y'all, thank y'all so much for listening, and take it easy.
Peace out.